wide receivers to the near side, that tight end back to the right, and Burmeister on the slant, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Arizona. It's Jackson Turner. So turnover for turnover, right back to the Wildcats.
Well, in between those turnovers was really an unnecessary hold.
All right, Aztec fans. Now here, unfortunately, ended up being a big negative. It's the biggest play of the game. It was a tough first half. Everything seemed to be going Arizona's way. Everything that they were throwing up, they were executing really well. They felt very comfortable. They had a whole offseason to get ready for our defense, and that makes a big difference too. From here on out, it's gonna be tough to get prepared for that 3-3-5 defense that the Aztecs like to throw at you. But when you have the whole offseason to get prepared, you should be able to pick up things and protect your quarterback and know where you want to attack. But all that being said, here's the Aztecs with 2:37 left before halftime. We're down by a touchdown. We just ended up getting an interception. And here's a big opportunity here. It's the big opportunity of the game for the Aztecs to go into halftime either tied or get a field goal and go into the locker room feeling good. And this play here is called a levels concept. We'll give you a little diagram of what the level concept is all about. Levels concept here, we got it drawn up here as a 3-by-1. And for a quarterback, he has a pre-snap read and he has a post-snap read. His pre-snap read is going to be where this Mike linebacker is located. If he's heavy inside here, we know that we have a 1-2 read on a levels. What a levels means is that our number 3 receiver, he has a job to do where he's going to run either a vertical based on what the safety does. If the safety stays square, he can blow right by him. If that safety backpedals, in other words, he stays capped on top of this right receiver, then that receiver is going to break his route to the inside to try to get on the other side of this Mike linebacker or the inside linebacker. The 2 receivers here on the outside, they're going to run what we call short digs, where they're going to attack an outside shoulder and break down with the flat route. And this receiver will do the same thing. So what we're going to see on this film is the great read by the quarterback, but some of the things that need to be ironed out for our Aztecs to have success with this play here in the future. So here's a levels concept here. It's the biggest play of the game as far as what happened during the aspect or the unfortunate happening on this. Our number 3 receiver here, his job is to go ahead and run that vertical. Now, if the safety here stays at 12 or he comes up a little bit, this guy's got to blow right by him. Okay, it's an easy touchdown. What Burmeister, what the Aztec quarterback is going to read is pre-snap. He sees how far inside this guy is, which means he can come to this side, to the 3 receiver side. His post-snap is going to be what this guy does. If this guy jumps, this receiver's got to go ahead and blow right by him. Now it is key. The coach has got to coach this kid up here that he has to tell the number 3 receiver, you got to be in high gear right now. As soon as that ball is snapped, you got to break this guy's cushion. Make him start backpedaling. It helps the read of the quarterback immediately. As soon as he gets the ball, if he gets on his horse and he goes, the quarterback gets a quick read that he sees this guy backpedaling because he sees that cushion being destroyed immediately. It makes the read a whole lot easier for the quarterback to get his eyes on 2 and 3 here on the play side. If he sees this safety come down, that's also an easy read because now he knows his receiver is going to continue up that stem or up the seam, if you will, and he just gives it to him, trying to beat the safety help up top who's on this other hash. And so he really wants to use his speed. If he goes slow, it really hurts the timing of the play and it makes it really difficult for the quarterback to get a decent read. Quarterback here still gets he makes the correct read, but his effort here, he needs to go at a higher gear. Because of how far inside he is, he knows he is going to have a hard time helping out this guy to get on underneath the short dig by this guy. Now, this guy's job, what's his job? He wants to keep this DB, the nickel back in this case, he wants to keep him outside leverage because he wants to go ahead and use all this space. And if you can picture a picture frame, he wants to keep this picture frame, the boundary of this picture frame, nice and wide, because this number 2 receiver wants to utilize this real estate in here. He wants to have himself a lot of room. This receiver's job, he doesn't know if he's getting man coverage, if he's getting covered 2, if he's going to get a bail, but his job is that he wants to get out of his vision. He wants to attack hard his outside shoulder, get him backpedaling, and then he's going to come flat down the same space. And again, it's the same kind of idea. You want to keep this picture frame as wide as possible. Keep your passing lanes open. So as I was looking at this play, right away, as soon as I saw the ball was snapped, I am looking at this receiver and his effort. And it's something that the wide receiver is the receiver coach is going to tell him, hey, you gotta come out of that. You gotta blow that cap off. You can't jog like that. You gotta be here and threaten this guy. You have to threaten this guy. The other thing is, this guy's got to attack outside shoulder. This guy's got to get out of his vision so that you create space. But if you jog this route, you make it a hard read for this quarterback of what's going on. You're not going fast enough to blow right by this guy. If he's going full speed, he easily gets by him. And we have a touchdown opportunity there. Well, he just jogs his way. Quarterback makes the read here on the short dig. And it's a good read because of how far the pre-snap read was inside that he can deliver that ball. Burmeister puts a good ball in him, hits him on the left side 1 number on the upfield shoulder, if you will, and he puts it right on him. But because of what happened here, because he squatted and we didn't get this safety out of the picture frame, he now has an opportunity to make a play on this. Now, unfortunately, it turned out to be a deflection for an interception and all, but he shouldn't have been nowhere near that play. This receiver had a responsibility to get him out. And then the spacing here is very poor. So what you're going to see from the upcoming weeks is that when they get these concepts, those are the little wrinkles that they're going to iron out. Because it's one thing to have a drop, but that would have been an incompletion on 1st and 20 if this safety was forced to backpedal to get out of that. If he just squats on that, then it makes it an easier read for that quarterback to know that I can blow that up right now, get on top of that guy and take advantage of a capped safety of that. And what I mean by capped, he broke open the cap by blowing right by him. If the safety stays on top of him, then he can go to this number 2. But as soon as that happened, the unfortunate thing, it gets rid of all the momentum for the Aztecs. And instead of going into halftime feeling good about yourself, Arizona ended up turning this turnover into a quick touchdown to go up by 2 touchdowns. And then to couple that, they had the opening kickoff where they were receiving the opening kickoff in the second half. And then they turned that into a touchdown. And it really put the Aztecs in a bad position where now they had to play catch up for the rest of the game. It's a great job by them, suffering or going through a tough first half, but still staying in the ball game. And it came down to that play where just those little tiny mistakes of going slow off the ball, not reading that coverage right, and not getting the spacing right, that causes just those little things to take place that a young football team has got to correct soon. It's just, as an offensive coordinator, what you're looking about, instead of me just play better, how do I make sure that the rest of the season we perfect this play? And that's really what it's all about. It's about perfecting plays. It's all about perfecting plays, especially in the passing game. There's just so much that needs to go right, and everybody has to take their job very seriously. They just got to take it very seriously so that his way that he runs his route is so vital to the success of the play, because it really does help out the quarterback's read. That the quicker he can get a read, the better he can make a better decision. And so he has to understand, okay, my job is not just to be a guy that just blows the top off where, I'm just a decoy. No, you're a very important piece of this, because really you're the primary on this play. That if this guy does come down and squat on your route, you have a chance to be a hero here. And so you want to go ahead and get into that, put that cape on immediately, and do that. And if you just come off the line of scrimmage on full throttle in high gear, you're going to cause him to hesitate because right away you're breaking that cushion down. Now, if he still comes down, even though you're coming full speed, it's because that's what the coverage was, which is fine. That helps the quarterback get a quicker read because once he sees this guy come down, because that's what he's reading post-snap. This is the pre-snap read. He's far inside, so I can work this 3 for 3 here. There's a lot of real estate to work with. His job is to make sure that he keeps the spacing there. He doesn't want to come inside too much and reduce this real estate. His job is to make sure he attacks the correct shoulder and then come down there. His job is to do the same thing, get out of the vision of this DB, attack hard on the bottom of that numbers, get really wide on that, and then come down and settle in this hole here. Bottom line is you just can't have too many routes that are so close to each other because what does that mean? More defenders in the area, and any little mistake can be compounded, which in this case, it happened. Yes, it's a drop. It's a big drop, but it would have been no big deal if that safety was nowhere near the play. It just falls to the ground. We move on to 2nd and 20, and you still have a chance from the 35-yard line to have 2 plays to get into field goal range and still go into halftime, feeling pretty good. But those little things have to be something that the Aztecs take very seriously. You better know that the coaching staff is going to work really hard to make sure that our young guys know that, how important each job is in making sure that every pass play, it's complicated. Game of football is a complicated sport, and it's never just one guy's fault. It's just that wherever the ball goes, that's where eyes of the fans go. And of course, you can easily put blame on anybody you want, but it's a team sport. And when a play is successful, all 11 guys, including the coaching staff and all the practice squad kids, deserve a high five because they had a big reason why that play was so successful. And when it doesn't go right, everybody has a responsibility to make sure the next time it's ran that it does go right. So looking forward to seeing our Aztecs grow. Really want to see them improve. I'm excited for what we see, what I see at least. I like the new quarterback. I know Haskell's continuously growing. Boy, he looked like he's put on some weight. He's just as quick and as athletic. I love his fire. And I'm excited. And the big positive that I did see in this game, we ran the ball well. We really did. And we showed some physicalness. Now, if we can couple that with really high-level execution on the passing game, which I know the coaching staff is going to get our young guys to get to, boy, sky's the limit for this squad.